Hey everyone, welcome to this Facebook Live. This is Shalini Joshi Amdagni from magicalpainfreeliving.com, and welcome to this weekly Facebook Lives that I do every Thursday at 11 o'clock Bangkok time. Welcome here, whether you're here live joining me right now or you are watching this on replay. Welcome. This is the topic for today is, you can see this, swinging in indecision. So if you are someone who struggles with making a decisions, or decision making is always like such a hard thing for you, and you wish there was some tools and strategies that you knew that could help you make decisions easier, then this is for you. So if you are here, welcome. Hi, Toshi. This is such a wonderful thing to see you here. Hi, Joe from Bali, Toshi from India. So nice to have you guys here. It's been such a long time, Toshi, since we connected. Nice to have you here. So today's topic is swinging in indecision. So if you are someone who struggles with decision making, or it's just really hard for you to decide, and you wish you had some tools, strategies, tips to make that process easier, this one is for you. This Facebook Live is for you. And I'm going to be sharing with you a client story recently. And she's still working with me, and this was one of the things that came up. So I'm going to share with you the client story. I'm going to be sharing with you why staying in the place of indecision can be more harmful. It can create more harm than good. And I'll also be sharing with you like key questions that you can ask yourself that might help you ease your way to decision clarity, as I call it. And also I will be sharing with you how to turn around those negative what if statements. We all do that to ourselves at some point in our lives, right? What if this goes wrong? What if that goes wrong? And how to turn them around so that they work for you, not against you. So hi Ritu. Hi guys, thank you for joining. And today's topic, once again, if you missed it, is swinging in indecision. It's all about how can we make decisions with more ease and not stay stuck there. And this is especially for people. It's not just like a one-time decision, but this is for people who are struggling to make decisions. It's like a thing. It's like their challenge. They always struggle with decision making, and they always find it hard to decide. And it's always like such a roller coaster cycle to decide. So this is for you. And so let me. Hi, Aldrin. Thank you for joining. So let me jump in and get into the story. I'm calling it Swinging in Indecision Story, and it's about a client. And for the sake of her privacy, I'm going to call her Mary, okay? So Mary and I are working together right now. She's a client. And one of the things that happened is that Mary was struggling to make a decision. Let me give you a little bit of background about Mary. So Mary is an aesthetics doctor, and Mary already has 2 clinics, and they're doing well, and she's constantly doing things to improve it. She started this business about 3-4 years ago, and there was a lot of investment required. And what happens is that a little background is that Mary had borrowed a good sum of money from her husband to start these 2 businesses. And so, they have this constant challenge. She has this constant challenge because her husband, his family is doing very well in business, and so he tends to constantly compare Mary to his other family members and says, like, you should be making more money, you should be doing well. And Mary has a tendency to do a lot of research and invest in herself for her own growth, and she travels to learn so that she can keep growing and expanding. And her husband is always not happy with those decisions, because he says you have to focus here and make this business way more profitable than it is right now. So he sees this whole travel and investment and training that she tries to get as kind of waste of money. And so she's always upset about that. And right now, what happened recently for Mary is that she had been invited to give a talk somewhere, and she bumped into this guy who wanted to collaborate with Mary to come up with an Ayurvedic product that she could, that they could both be involved in, and she could sell it as part of her clinic. Hers is an aesthetics clinic, so it's about beauty and skin and all that stuff. And she herself has been really pulled into Ayurveda, and she's been studying it for a while, and she's really excited about all the different possibilities with these herbs and using natural stuff to improve your well-being, not just your skin and your beauty. And so this guy comes up and he wants to collaborate with her to create a product. And she's really excited about this opportunity. She's, she thinks it's heaven sent. She feels like this is no coincidence that is happening. But she is not sure if she should collaborate with this amazing, famous guy, because here's how she goes. She's like, what if it doesn't work? What if I'm making the wrong decision? What if I'm wasting money? What if my husband's gonna be more mad? What if I don't know enough of Ayurveda right now? What if the product doesn't sell? What if it's a bad idea? What if I lose money? What if, and on and on and on. I'm sure some of you can relate to it. Every time you're trying to do something new, all these, she's not the only one. I go through this, and we do this to ourselves. So she's going on this rampage of what if negative thoughts, right? And the thing is that so she feels not confident, she feels unsure, she's not trusting herself, she's not believing in herself. And at the bottom of her heart, she feels like, wow, what an opportunity. And she feels really excited about it. But then her head comes up with all these negative what if doom scenarios, which we all can relate to. And this is not a one-time experience for Mary. So, we all go through this on and off when we should I, shouldn't I, and all this negative stuff. But this is not the first time that she's swinging in indecision. This is a constant issue with her. There are different times when she's doing something else and she goes back and forth. So this indecision thing is not just about this one collaboration experience. It's an ongoing experience for her, and decision making is really hard. And so getting a little technical and detailed with this. So when I ask her, like, why do you not trust yourself and what's going on, because she has the experience, she's studying it. So when we dig a little bit deeper to when was the first time that she learned to do this? Like, when was the first time she really struggled with this issue with making a decision? How far can she go back into her childhood to remember? And she said, every time, like smallest of things, she always, like, even with wearing dresses, she would struggle, this one or this one, this one or this one. And she would always go to like 5 other people to ask, like, should I wear this one or this one? So simple things were, were a big struggle for her, deciding on simple things. And because this is my work, I work with thousands of people with all kinds of issues. And so when we really dig in to uncover the root cause of what was going on with her, the story was that Mary, is an only child. And when she was born, her father was so upset that it was a girl that he never even came to the hospital to see her. So you can imagine now as a grown-up woman, it technically she can find a way to understand it, but emotionally, there's this feeling of unworthiness, there's this feeling of abandonment, there's this feeling of I wasn't good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm a disappointment. And there are all these these worthiness issues that she has. And so she's learned that she's not good enough. And somehow that has translated and generalized into, I can't trust myself, I don't believe in myself, they didn't love me, he didn't love me. And all that is, playing in the under what's going on today, making decisions. And so we're working on these issues right now because it's a long-term thing that's been going on for her. But as we, resolve this feeling of not good enough and feeling more confident in herself, we started asking like questions like, what if I don't know what I've written in there because I can't see it, but things like, what if it's not the end of the world making this decision? What if I can decide and course correct if things go wrong? What if this is a good idea? What if it's my dream come true? What if I can just start and keep making progress and keep course correcting if things don't turn out? What if I have the knowledge? I've been studying this for a few years now. What if I can research and train as I go along while I do this collaboration? And so kind of switching the what if negative scenarios to what if positive scenarios, because your brain is like the biggest Google search engine. And if you it's like when you there's a guy who's known for this affirmations, or I don't know, and it's like, what if, and what if this works out, what if. And so when you start triggering your brain that way, that's the direction it starts taking, because your mind just follows what you tell it to do. And if you say, why is my life not working? It'll give you 100 reasons why your life is not working. Why am I the unlucky one? It'll give you 1,000,000 reasons why you're the unlucky one. But if you ask your brain, why will this work out? Why will this be a good idea? It'll start giving you all the reasons. It's just the kind of questions you ask it. So, they have smart questions. Don't ask the wrong questions. Ask the smart questions, because the brain will always search, scan, and give you the answer. And if you ask the right question, then that's what, it'll start focusing on. So to go from, what if this doesn't work out, and what if it goes wrong, and what if I'm, to going to, I've heard this from Joe Vitale, what if up statements. I'm sure I don't know if he's the original guy for this, but what if up statements about what if, things do go my way? What if I give it a go? What if it's not the end of the world? What if it'll be fun? What if I'm making a big deal out of it? And what if it can be easier than I'm making it out to be? So once you start to do that, you start to calm down. And in case of Mary, you know, because it's an ongoing, she's still my client, and we're still in this process of uncovering and releasing and clearing and letting go of those root issues, which, because of which she has this indecision challenge even today. Once you start clearing the root issues of unworthiness and feelings of not good enough and feelings of, you know, because as a kid, you've had experiences, maybe you were criticized for the decisions that you made. Maybe you had a few failures. You know, everybody has failures along the way because of certain decisions you made, and you know, somewhere in your heart, you hold on to it and say, remember I made that bad decision, and remember what happened. And so your brain sabotages any, you know, opportunity that comes your way, because it'll keep referring to the memories, right? You have experiences and you make decisions based on what you've already experienced. I had this Facebook Live that I did once about how we are always consulting the writing on our walls, and the writing on our walls is all that undercover stuff that is lying there, years and years of you know, memories, experiences, and now we keep referring to that. And so for Mary, she keeps referring, maybe consciously and maybe subconsciously, to those experiences in the past where, you know, she felt not good enough. And that makes her undecisive, not sure, you know, not trusting herself, not believing in herself. And so once you start releasing those core issues, and even if you don't know the core issues, you know, if you could start doing the, instead of the what if down, right, to what if up, like switching those sentences and kind of self-soothing yourself so that you make a decision. And the second thing that I was going to share with you is that, you know, staying in this place of indecision can be more harmful than beneficial. Because, you know, when you say here, so I want it, but doubt it. I want it, but I won't do it. I can't do it. I want it, but look at these other people who have it. So you're feeling resentful. You want it, but something else. So it's kind of like this tug of war going on, which creates a lot of resistance in your energy system. And I call it split energy. And when you have a lot of like this sister, you know, this split energy going on, this tension inside of you, whether you're thinking about that issue or not currently, but it's at the back of your mind, this dis-ease within, this tension within, eventually over time builds up and creates actual physical dis-ease and pain. And Mary actually has numbness in her fingers and all kinds of other health issues, which are, you know, a creation of all the dis-ease that she feels inside. So, you know, the important thing is that one of the questions that I think is helpful in making a decision is ask yourself, am I making this decision from a place of love or a place of fear? I should have written this question down on a paper, but the question is, am I making this decision, no matter what the decision is, small decision, big decision, really big decision? Ask yourself, am I making this decision from a place of fear, or am I making this decision from a place of love? If you don't want to use the word love, you can say, am I making this decision from a place of, like, what would God have me do? What would God say? What would love say? Do it, don't do it. Okay? So this is really powerful. And if you really sit with it and really use it, you'll know. Because, you know, I like to tell clients, Try feeling your way to clarity. Try feeling, not thinking, because thinking you go on this overdrive and you overthink and then you over complicate things, and it's just a big mess because there's like all these positive to-dos, positive and negative and what if, and there's just too much. But if you could feel your way, because I believe feelings are your guide to you, and if you can feel, is this from a feeling of fear that you're making this decision? If I don't make this decision, then this will happen. If I don't make this decision, then they'll be mad or they'll get angry, and so I must decide. Or are you making the decision from a place of love because it feels so good, because I know in my heart this is the right thing, because this can't be a coincidence. I have a good feeling about this. So I'm 100% like go with your gut kind of person. And it's always worked for me. It's worked for my clients. And so I would, my tip would be, when you're making a decision, try feeling your way into decision clarity, because your feelings are, your instinctual feelings are your guide to you, and they will, so once you make the decision, the important thing is, 3 steps sort of to make a decision is, decide, right? What if you soothe yourself and you bring yourself to a place of peace and you just take a decision, because indecision will create more mess, more chaos, right? And so just make a decision. Stop the resistance, stop the tension, stop the the split energy. Just make a decide and align with it. So, let me give you an example. Like, there are lots of masterminds going on in US right now that I would love to be a part of, right? I'm here in Thailand, and I see it on Facebook, like, oh, this mastermind is happening and that mastermind is happening. And there is this part of me that says, I want to go there, but I can't. So, I can stay in this place of resentment and frustration and say, I wanted to go there, but I'm here. I want to be there, but I'm here. I want to go, and be part of this thing and that thing, but I'm still here. And this kind of decision that I wish I could be there. I wish I could go. I want to be part of those masterminds, creates this split energy. So I'm unhappy here, and I'm frustrated there. But if I make a decision, this is what's important for me right now. I need to be here. My son is having exams, and I'm going to make a decision that I'm going to let go of this desire to attend all these masterminds that are going on that I would love to be a part of, right? But I'm going to make a decision that this is more important for me right now, to stay here, to support my kids, to be here with my family. And, they're going to be gone in a few years. In fact, my son will be graduating next year. Oh my God. And so you have to align, like, line up, when they told you in school to line up, come into alignment, get into a straight line with your decision. So making peace with the decision. Okay, so first making the decision, not going in this swinging place and not deciding, but making a decision, aligning with it, and then acting on it. Okay, so my choice is I have to stay here and just get on with my life here instead of going back and forth. So if you have a decision to make that you find really hard to decide, should I go this way, should I go that way, both things look good or both things look bad, but you have to make a choice, then just pick one that feels less bad or that feels more good, right? And then align with it, because you don't want that split energy inside and stay in this place of dis-ease within. and then act. And if for whatever reason you made the wrong decision, I believe there's always learning. When you make the wrong decision, you learn a lot, right? And so whichever way you choose, you can always turn around. Nobody's told you that if you go this way, then there is no, you can't turn around. We're born with free will. We have a free will. We can choose to stop, to continue, to modify and improve and evolve, right? So, it doesn't have to be the end of the world making a decision. And so I want to ask you, like, what are some of the decisions you might be struggling with right now? And how could you, what if up yourself, right? What if up statements could you say to yourself? What if up, right? And instead of making this big mountain of making a decision, what if you could just decide one way? I remember when I was doing my very first retreat, I had all this negative chatter. And I said, what's the worst case scenario? No one will show up. And I would have still learned a whole lot of stuff from preparing for the retreat, there's so much learning that can happen. And actually the brain creates all these doom scenarios which are not even true, right? So what is your story? Where are you right now? What decision do you need to make? Where are you struggling? And where do you feel torn about making a decision? What if up yourself? And what if you could make a decision? You cannot imagine the weight you feel, lifted off your shoulders when you just make a decision. Either way, it's like a relief. It's like there's this burden you're carrying with you, and then suddenly it's offloaded and you choose a path. And everyone, each one who has become an expert in some field has gone through lots of, there's no straight road to success. There is no straight road to anything, right? So, you enjoy the journey. And if it doesn't go that way, you will learn things along the way that will always help you. So I'm not sure what you're struggling with right now. If you have something, please comment below. If some of this sharing resonates with you, please share below. And if you feel like somebody needs to hear this message and might benefit from this, then please share this. And I always, here's a little thing that I'd written that I didn't share, but I'm going to share it now. Focus on progress instead of perfection. A lot of people that I've coached have this need for it to be perfect. The decision needs to be perfect. The product, Mary wants, before she wants to put it out, she wants to be 100% like it's gonna work, it's gonna be effective. And we have all these great intentions, but it keeps us, in this limbo place, in this not deciding place, and it deprives us of the joy that we could experience, and it deprives the people who could benefit from our taking action, from our saying yes to whatever it is. Even doing these Facebook lives, you think there wasn't negative chatter at the start? There was lots of negative chatter. My mentor, Alex Mendosian, does these, so much better. Like even these cards that I've made, he makes it so much better. But if I stay, worried about like how to make it all perfect, then I'll never start, because it's never going to be perfect. Nothing's perfect. No one's perfect. Look around you. What's perfect? So the whole theme, this whole theme of perfection, which is complete myth, keeps a lot of people stuck and struggling and frustrated from living their dream. So I hope you're going to focus on progress and not having it perfect. I say the same thing to my kids. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just get on with it. Just do it. And when you just do it, you learn, and it's all good. It doesn't go wrong. It really doesn't. So hopefully this was, I haven't been looking at the comments here. Hi Ram, story of my life. Well, it's the story of all our lives, isn't it? We all go through this. Every time you try to do something new, all these voices in your head will create the doom scenario. I think, who is it? Brené Brown calls it, we dress rehearse, doom scenarios. I think that's the word she was using. We dress rehearse doom scenarios instead of like practicing and getting ready for the best show. We practice for like the worst things. And there's like for me, it's I say, be prepared for that things will go wrong, that things can go wrong, that you don't expect perfection. So just leave perfection out and just go with it, and know it won't be perfect, but the journey will be worth it, and you'll enjoy from all the ups and downs, and it'll create a win-win for you and for others that you are intending to serve, or whatever you're intending to do. It's usually a benefit for you and others. So I hope that was helpful. I'm going through the comments. Hello, Vichai uncle. Hi, Sandeepa. And what did Ram say? Good thing you shared this today. This is exactly what my primary challenge is. Should be there, but I'm here. Exactly. And I always say, you haven't missed your boat. You haven't missed your path. Please, that was my story. I used to think I've missed my path. I was supposed to be a singer, and here I am stuck on bed in chronic pain, and I didn't know that my path was right there when I was stuck in chronic pain, because now I can share that, share that. So you're never off your path. You're exactly where you're meant to be, Ram. And, we have to come back to the now and say, how can I make the best of right now? So, thank you for joining, Ram. Thank you for always sharing comments. I'm glad it helped one person here. And if you think that this might help and benefit others, please do share it, tag people in it, and I look forward to sharing more stories, more tips, tools, strategies that might help you and benefit you in some way. And I will be, sharing a link to a tapping video that I use to come to this place of clarity. So watch out for that link. Thank you for joining, and I will see you next week, every Thursday at 11 o'clock Bangkok time. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining. Thank you, Ram. I'll see you next week. Bye.